Hey, welcome to the Northwest Georgia Football Playoff Roundtable. Joined tonight, Benton Burge, Team FYN Sports, Levi Burdick, Region 7 AA Sports, and the voice of the Fannin County Rebels, Tim Tao. We'll go over some of these first round games on Friday, Saturday, and give you our best analysis, maybe some picks as we go. You guys want to start it off?
Yeah. Um, let's see here. I was going to give a quick reminder to everybody out there that single A, public and private, and 6A will be on Saturday. So get out Saturday and show those guys some support. Everybody else playing on Friday in the first round. Start with A private if everybody's cool with that.
Yeah.
First game up for us in A private. Not really anybody around here, but you got North Cobb Christian headed to Holy Innocents. That's the 4 versus 1 in Darlington's region.
Yeah, I mean you got like Holy Innocents in that game. I mean they're a top 5 team in Class A private. I don't see that one close.
Yeah, I think that people who don't know this single A private up here, they don't realize just what Holy Innocence is. Holy Innocence is a football machine.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cut and dry. North Cobb had some struggles this year, and it would be a massive upset if they pulled one against Holy Innocents.
I'm just going to pull the rankings up here as we talk. Yeah, Holy Innocence is number 5 in Class A private right now, 8-1.
I got you. Are you going to be able to pull any spreads for us tonight?
Yeah, I can do some spreads here.
You don't have to pull them all.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and show you something interesting on the pick'em that I do. 93.8%. I've got 32 responses already. Picked Holy Innocents. So somebody's picking North Cobb. I'm not sure if they know what they're talking about.
That's those two dads from North Cobb that vote.
Yeah, there you go. Second game, Christian Heritage is on the road at Westland. Westland broke in a new quarterback.
We've seen Westland a couple times.
Yeah, Westland's quarterback, J.C. French. He's at BT now. He's at Blessed Trinity. He transferred. So they broke in a new quarterback this year. And I haven't heard anything from Westland this year, but obviously they're 2 seeds.
Yeah.
So
I'm just sitting here looking at their results. They're 7-3. The 3 losses were against Prince Avenue Christian. Holy Innocents, they lost 21-0, and they lost to Decatur, which is a team that's playing Calhoun 13-6. So pretty strong team.
I can tell you that Wesleyan lost a couple of players, but they had a lot of high hopes for that team last year. They were kind of senior heavy last year. So I think that French and a few of the other guys bailed out when they thought that senior class was gone, and French saw a brighter light at the end of the tunnel over there in BT.
Yeah, Christian Heritage is a 27-point underdog.
Woo! And I'm pretty sure that you're going to see that reflected in the
final score.
Oh, look at here!
Yeah, in the final score, in the halftime score.
Got a few homers. Out there.
Score.
87% pick Westland. Next.
That's because Christian Heritage has football players, and I think that they had higher hopes for hosting a playoff game at the beginning of the season, and it just didn't happen. So,
yeah, I think they lost a couple of players to Calhoun in the offseason that hurt them.
Yep.
Leonard.
I wasn't going to say it.
This is an interesting one here. Mount Vernon, and I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good Mount Vernon team that will be on the road at Mount Perrin, excuse me.
Yeah, Mount Vernon is a 12-point favorite at Mount
That's
Perrin.
what I thought. That Mount Vernon team, I did some research. I don't remember the people right offhand, but they had some playmakers, and I think they will upset. Well, I guess you could call it an upset, even though they're favored because it's a 3 versus 2. But so that one I think is pretty much.
Yeah, they are 6-3 on the season. Lost to Trinity Christian, which I mean everybody lost to Trinity Christian. They lost to Wesleyan 23-14, and they lost to Whitefield Academy, which is a team that beat Darlington this year.
And an overwhelming amount have also picked Mount Vernon. Actually, Mount Parham was picked.
No.
Yeah, that looked like Mount Parham was picked there on that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's
more people.
I'm
More people are just
I'm
going to
in
go.
the blue.
Yeah, more people are going with the numbers there with the rankings.
Yeah. And here's the big matchup from our area. I would say Hebron Christian at Darlington. You know, I hate to say it, but it might be the Patrick Shelley show. They're not Hebron Christian's not a terrible team, but you know we've talked about Shelley being one of the best athletes in North Georgia, especially single A.
Darlington is a 24-point favorite, and they have a one common opponent this year in North Cobb Christian. Hebron lost by 11 to North Cobb, and I lost my screen there, but I know Darlington beat North Cobb by a pretty good margin.
Yeah, and I would say that single A, public and private, Shelley is probably going to be the top athlete up there, and if not for the resurgence, as Trine's Rob Brown kind of gained steam towards the second half of the season. He did great all season, but after the Bowden game, he just turned on the afterburners. And I'd say the two of those in single A football in this area are kind of head and shoulders above everybody else.
I agree. Yeah. And we're going to get into that here. This is A public. And the first matchup, and this one is Gordon Lee, that we've talked about before on here, is on the road at Washington Wilkes. I've been there before. It was freezing cold. It was like 10 degrees that night.
And Gordon Lee, 28.
And Washington Wilkes can play some football.
Absolutely. They have been a AA team, and they've come down.
Oh, yeah.
Lately to
I saw them quite a bit in AA. They handled their business in AA.
Yep.
Yeah, and they are coached by former Rome Wolf head coach Sid Fritz.
Yep.
Sid Fritz is the coach, and it will be a trip. It'll be a trip over there.
They have athletes with speed, with power. They have some size down there, and they are well coached. And Gordon Lee has just all the air out of their sails. I mean, they have just deflated and come stumbling into the postseason. And what fight they had left in them got taken out last Friday night, hardcore.
Battle of the red teams here. This should be an interesting one. Mount Zion is on the road at Lincoln County.
This could be a high-scoring affair for sure, but
I think
they both built similar.
Seed.
Yeah.
Well, I like Lincoln County. I mean, I like Mount Zion early. I mean, obviously, I was the one idiot to pick them over Tryon, and but not only did they play poorly in that game, but Lincoln County has continued to get strong. And you know, I tell you, Lincoln County very easily could have ended up in the number 3 spot here. So, I think Mount Zion's not really going to put up much of a fight, whether they were the 3 or whether they were the 2 seed.
I kind of agree. You guys got me?
Yeah. We got you.
Yeah, I agree with Levi. And from seeing Mount Zion in person, they've got some talented players. They are not physical. They do not attack you at the line of scrimmage. They do not want to tackle. And that was the one thing that I took away from seeing them in person is they've got some athletes, but they are not a physical football team. They're not gonna be able to run the ball effectively. And if Lincoln County has any kind of offense, I don't see Mount Zion being able to stop it.
Yeah, Mount Zion against Armurchie made me think that both of those teams were better than they were. Honestly, I kind of put more stock in how Armurchie hung in that game, and try and kind of again just cut the legs out of both of them.
Yeah. And then obviously the closest to us, Social Circle on the road, visiting a 2 seed Tryon on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think this is actually going to be a pretty good game. Tryon's a 16-point favorite, but like I was telling Paul earlier this week, man, I was doing some research, and I'm not sure if Trine has seen a team throw the ball 30 times a game like they're going to see this Saturday.
Hey, Social Circle's used to those big boys up in AA. Social Circle can play some football. And again, they very easily could have beat Lincoln County and been the number 2 seed over there. So I'm interested to see what happens too.
Circle is. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to say, Circle is one of those teams that, when I watched a little film on them, I seen a little bit of wing tee, little couple different things, but I also seen that the quarterback has over 2,000 yards passing in high school. That's big, and they have a receiver.
That's more than Bowden throws, and Bowden exploited the one weakness that Trine has, and that's an undersized secondary. Putting Rob Brown back there. Yeah, putting Rob Brown back there helps some against a bad quarterback, but against a good quarterback, the Bowden's QB passing game alone is what exploited Trine's defense.
Yeah, this one could be a shootout, I think.
Yes, let me say I think it's going to be a shootout. I expect that Social Circle is going to have success passing the football. I think we're going to have success running the football. Our offensive line, Rob gets a lot of credit, and he deserves a lot of credit. He's a heck of an athlete. But our offensive line, about like Levi said earlier, about the Bowden game, not only did Rob turn it on, but our offensive line is dominating people here lately, and they take pride in it, and they enjoy dominating. And I think you're going to see a high-scoring football game with Social Circle racking up passing yards and Trine racking up rushing yards. And to me, I think the biggest thing for Trine in the game is I know Social Circle's quarterback. I think he's a pretty tall kid, but I don't think he's very mobile. Can Brantley Wilbanks and that defensive line pressure that quarterback and make him throw the ball quick and maybe get him on the ground?
Yeah. I agree. Hey, I totally agree. I think
that Trine offensive line has been dominating. They don't even play Brantley Wilbanks on the O line anymore, do they?
No. It's, he got a deep bruise to his knee 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I don't think he's played a snap of offensive line since then.
So the O-line could be even more dominating if Brantley were in as one of the best O-linemen on the team. Him and KP, to me, are both – I mean, they're lights out in terms of run blocking.
Yes, they are. And like I said, to me, and keep an eye on this. I don't know if any of you guys are going to be in Trine Friday night or if you're going to be able to stream the game, but I'm telling you, Trine's defensive line, to me, is going to be the determining factor in the game. Can we pressure the quarterback? Can we get him on the ground? Can we make him throw the ball quick? Because I think if he stands back there and has 3, 4, 5 seconds to throw the ball, it's going to be tough.
Now, we can't say against Bowden, I felt like Brantley Wilbanks was 2 yards deep in the backfield every play, but that guy had a little mobility and a really quick release, and he had 2 receivers that were quick, so he had somebody to dump the ball off to every time he got in trouble.
No, I agree with that.
Robert,
I agree with that. And yes, McNeil, I agree with that. And I will also say the one thing, and I don't know a whole lot about this Social Circle team. I know the quarterback's a big, tall kid. I don't believe, from what I've seen and heard, that he's near as mobile as Bowden's quarterback. And so, we got pressure on McNeil several times in that ball game. I can remember at least 2 or 3 times we had him in 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, 12, 15 yards. Got pressure on McNeil. He runs for 11, 13, or 16 yards.
Well, Social Circle doesn't have any running backs with over 500 yards rushing, but both of their running backs average like 5 or 6 yards a carry because they throw enough that people quit. They quit paying attention to the run.
They're quick. Quick guys.
So they gash you.
I haven't seen a lot of film on him, but I just wondered if it was more of a long passing game, or is it more of a run pass game, like where they're throwing like little shovel passes?
I've seen enough film to know that they've got a post route that they hit you deep, but they'll do a bunch of the short stuff, and then hit you deep.
Yeah,
I'm going to be. I'm going to be one of the homers you guys were talking about earlier. I'm going to go with Trine, obviously, but I think that game has the potential to be one of the better games in our area this weekend.
I agree with that.
I'm not a dad, but I can tell you I'm not betting against Trine again.
Yeah.
KJ Reed is their big play receiver. He's got 650 plus yards. He's the one that's going to stretch the field. All the other guys,
And that dude averages 12 yards a catch.
Yeah,
that dude's
All the
averaging
other
like
guys
12.
are out
And that's
routes.
big time.
Like I said, I mean, it's weird to see the minimal rushing numbers for. I mean, I watched a lot of film. They were in the wing tee passing the ball. You don't normally see that. So
No.
No.
Hey, Paul, give Rob
sir.
Brown a fist bump when you see him next. It was exciting to see those offers start rolling in. Well deserved.
Yeah, I certainly will. Everybody around here is just been pulling for him and trying to help him out and get his name out there the best we can. So I certainly will. And I want to say this just real quick. I don't want to eat up too much time, but the last time I was on, Coach Peavy was on, I think, for the first time. And I kind of alluded a little bit to what Lawrence kind of has started here and what it's turned into. And it's great for the players. It promotes the players. And I know that's kind of Lawrence's vision and goal. But the one thing that I'm starting to notice as this thing grows is that it's creating a community in Northwest Georgia where we're all learning more about each other and each other's teams and areas and the players, which to me makes it more interesting because when we go into these playoffs, teams like Haralson County or, some of those 5 AA teams or some of those 6 AAA teams, that Chris deals with, like, I know a little about them, but I'm not familiar. But now I have an interest in those teams. I know who their players are, who their coaches are. And as we get deeper into the playoffs, it gives me at least a vested interest in these teams and these players and these coaches to pull for them, because I believe that Lawrence has created a community here where everybody has got to kind of pulled together and got to know more about each other. And I think that makes it easier as a whole to pull for each other and have an interest in these teams moving forward.
Yeah. That has to be the hardest thing for me is, every Friday night I'm pulling for 40 teams, man. It's tough.
Yeah. Last one in this in the single A public here is Commerce on the road at Bowden. Commerce is one of those teams. They're kind of up and down. They won some big games and they lost a couple games. They lost one later in the season and ended up shooting them down to the 4 seed, but not an average 4 seed. But
if they had won that last game, they'd have been the 1 seed. So they dropped from 1 to 4 on the last.
Yeah, that's my deal with them. Is Commerce, Lincoln, and Social Circle are all really good ball teams. They're just inconsistent. So I feel like all 3 of them have the ability to pull an upset. I just don't see it happening.
Not in this one. I don't see it happening in this one.
Bowden's just a 16-point favorite as a 1 seed, but
did Commerce not beat Washington Wilkes the week before they lost to Lincoln?
Yeah, Commerce beat Washington Wilkes, but then they lost to Lincoln. So with all the tie breaks, they ended up 4 seed.
But it sounds to me like that region 1 through 4 is basically neck and neck, and it depends on kind of what team shows up.
Yeah, all Commerce didn't lose to Lincoln bad.
So I feel like that region is very evenly matched 1 through 4, and that's what makes this round for 6A versus 8A so interesting, is because I'm not sure there's a whole lot of difference between Washington Wilkes and Commerce, and obviously there's not. Commerce beat Washington Wilkes, and so I think this week's matchup for single A with these 2 regions is going to be really fun to watch.
And if you look at the vote by the people, Bowden is a 93% favorite, and this is 32 different people that's voted already, myself included.
Yeah, I'm
going. All right, 2A.
2A. This is the battle right here. This is the showdown. 5 AA versus 7 AA.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the 4 seed.
Upset.
Yeah.
Who's upset? You're upset. I'm upset. What?
I'm just upset we're in the 4 seed. That's all.
Yeah. I won't even.
We're tied. I still say we're tied for second. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys saw my post last night, but there's one team in the playoffs this Friday that's never won a playoff game.
That's Haralson County.
Haralson County.
Yeah, and that
never won a playoff game.
I've never won a playoff game.
Didn't Coach Peavy say this is the first time I ever won the region?
Yeah, first time they've won the region. First time they've.
Well,
they've had a tough region. The history of their school, they've just been in tough regions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say that they're going to add to that total. I think by at least 2 or 3 wins.
Hey, I can tell you a little interesting news. We happened to be on a recruiting trip this past Saturday with 2 players from Manchester. And Manchester's the single A team that finished in the 4 seed but beat Haralson County
early in the year.
Or it was early in the year, and they said we've got the formula for beating him, and it's just send your entire team after Clay Hyatt. That's all you got to
do. I'm not sure if that's going to work.
Yeah, to me, that's the recipe people try to use against Rob Brown, and they try to send everybody after him, and that O-line just makes a hole, and then there's nothing at the second level.
I can tell you that. I can tell you Haralson's a 35-point favorite.
Yep.
Ouch.
Not for nothing either.
Doubled it.
That just hurts my feelings. That hurts my feelings.
Pepperell is the 3 seed, and they'll head to Callaway. And Callaway is one of those teams that got athletes everywhere. I think they pulled off a win against Heard County in Week 10 to secure the 2nd seed.
I've actually talked to some fans that have played both these schools. Played Pepperell and Callaway this year, and they think Pepperell has a chance.
Hey, Callaway was down 21-0 last week against Heard.
They were
21-0 and came back and won.
Yeah, I watched a good bit of that game along with about 5 other games, along with the Dade County game and some of the Trine game and
the Callaway fans. The Callaway fans believed that they were going to Haralson to knock Haralson off, and they got really humbled in that game. I mean, they didn't just lose that game; they got manhandled.
Yeah, I agree. I think they expected to win that game, and
I think that's why the Heard County game they were still shook up.
Yeah, I feel like with Callaway and Haralson County, talking about that physicality earlier, like maybe with Trine and Mount Zion in that game, what I saw, I almost wonder if Callaway, they've got a lot of athletes, but I think they went down or played Haralson County, and I think Haralson County just got after them physically, and I don't know that they were ready for that.
What's the spread on this game?
30.
Wow. I think Pepperell covers.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I mean, I'm also not going to pick Pepperell.
I'm not going to pick Pepperell. I think they cover.
I agree. I think 30 points is a little much. I think maybe 20, 18.
Now Pepperell got blown out by Fannin, but Pepperell turned around and lost a close game to Dade here, and Dade turned out to be all that and then some, in that last game with Fannin.
And scored 35 unanswered on Chattooga.
And scored 35 straight points against Chattooga. I mean, and they were punched right in the mouth against Chattooga. We're down 14-0, 6 minutes into the ball game.
Guys, I saw Dade County firsthand Friday night. I would not want to play them this Friday night. I'm telling you, they scared the crap out of us.
Yeah, we talked to Charles about it Friday night. And, he said he's going to make the trip. He doesn't miss any Heard County games. But, I think it's an interesting matchup. I think Dade County can be just multiple enough. And if they can get behind the defense,
Man, they got to throw the ball to Cole. They have got to get the ball in his hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
When that guy, man, I don't know why they didn't throw it to him more last week.
Well, they have 2,000-yard receivers. They got Swader and then the Cole kid. They're both 1,000-yard receivers returning from last year. So,
yeah, and David Cole can do something with the ball after he's caught it. He can move a little after he's caught it. But I like their defense. Their defense. What they showed me against Fannin was they can set up. Jeff Poston has got these guys mentally in a different area, and I feel like the adjustments that they made for Fannin County could work against Heard. I don't know how Heard's going to respond. I think that Heard's favored in this one, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, they're favored by 9. They have that quarterback Heard. He's not a true quarterback. He's filling in right now for the starter, but I mean he's headed to Florida State on Saturday for a recruiting trip. Yep. He's picked up FSU.
He's a big boy. He's a big man.
6'6", 230, sophomore.
Is Finch hurt for?
And I just don't know. Yeah, hurt. And he's not the QB. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, just a sophomore.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore, and he's huge. And Coach Norvell down at FSU loves him and has been trying to get him down there. So I think that Heard County's – I mean, nothing against Seth Reese, but this kid they're about to face here is a handful.
This is a very interesting Heard County favored pie chart.
I was in the red.
I was in the. He said I was in the red. Great.
I think that 9 points is pretty accurate. I think it's pretty fair.
Well, I can just say this.
I think that is too.
Oh, French is still hurt.
Yep. Going to the Dade County game, I think it's about what Dade team shows up. Because they've had 3 or 4 games this year where they've looked great. Even in the loss to Fannin, they look great. But I think they've had 2 or 3 other games this year where they haven't. And if they show up,
don't forget, they beat a very good South Pittsburgh team in Tennessee. I mean, South Pittsburgh is a powerhouse. Even though they're single A Tennessee, they are a great football team. They got athletes.
Big O line up there in South Pittsburgh. Big lineman.
Yeah, and they got a kid, Geo Davis, who's got Ole Miss Tennessee offers. I mean, dude, they got players all over the field. I mean, that was a big win for Dade County this year. I think that's the win that actually sparked them to have such a good year. But I'm telling you guys, don't count out Dade County Friday night. Do not.
Well, and I can also tell you this: Dade County is consistently the underdog in almost every big game that they have come back and won. They've been the underdog, and they come back. Yeah, they did lose to Mount Zion, but Mount Zion. I mean, how many losses did Mount Zion have? Tryon and Bowden. You know, I mean,
those are pretty good losses.
That's not embarrassing.
I agree. I just think if Dade shows up and they play the way they're capable of playing, the way they did against South Pittsburgh, against Fannin, I think Dade's got a real shot to win this game. But if they show up the way they did in a couple other games this year, I think they could lose by more than the spread.
And wasn't the Williams kid? I hate talking about injuries, but wasn't the Williams kid hurt for a few weeks for Dade County?
Yeah.
I mean, guys, I mean, I'm telling you, man. Watch out for Dade County.
And even when he came back, even when Williams came back, he wasn't 100%. I think that he's coming around now. Both brothers are as linebackers. They are very mobile. Those kids can stretch the field, get sideline to sideline, very good lateral movement, and they can hit.
Yeah, if he wasn't 100% Friday night, I'd hate to see him at 100%.
Yeah, I'll tell you the one thing that me and Benton talked about after that game we watched Friday night, Fannin and Dade, was how the quarterback is good, you know, escaping the pressure.
Yep.
For Dade.
He kind of finds a way to slip out and just throw a little deep pass or hit a deep shot or something. I think they got to throw more.
I gotta ask Tim while we have him here though. Who was the defensive lineman that jumped up and intercepted that pass there in the fourth quarter?
That was actually linebacker Andrew Waldrop.
That was the play of the game right there, you know.
Play of the year.
Hey, and Waldrop has been outside of Fannin. Waldrop has been under the radar. Fannin County fans know about this kid, but outside of there, he had a huge year last year. The people that didn't watch him don't know. Andrew Waldrop had a great year last year. This year, he's been lights out, and just outside of Fannin, I mean, they're stuck way over there in the middle of nowhere. People don't realize he's a baller.
Yeah, the linebacking core, and I promise I'm not going to get on my fan soapbox here, but the linebacking core of Waldrop, Sands, and Owensby, man, and then you had Seth Reese in there. We'll probably say that for just this next segment here, but
testify. Can I get an amen from the congregation?
I'm glad somebody is realizing how good of a player he's been this year, because he has been.
Yeah, I like to see his dad finally pushing him out there a little bit, but I can tell you, having watched him, and I agree completely with Owensby and Waldrop. You know, they have been a real solid linebacking core there, and they had to beat Dade. I mean, they had to be.
This next matchup here, I just want to say that this may be the best 4 seed of all the 4 seeds we see. This may be the best 4 seeds.
You know,
I seen Bremen play a half against Harrelson the other day. That was, I mean, they were right there. I thought they had a shot at winning the game. You know, the second half kind of turned on them, but I still think Brandon wins the game, but I think it's a good one.
You know, Ben, it's just like last year. Pace Academy came in as a 4 seed. They really were the 1 seed, but due to that crazy tiebreaker COVID rule that region had, there was a good 4 seed. So, I mean, this is another great, tough draw for Fannin County in the second year in the playoffs, facing another good, solid 4 seed. And it's going to be a great football game Friday night in Blue Ridge. I think, it's a 1-4 matchup, but I think it's one of the best matchups.
Yeah, tell me the score again between Bremen and Bowden. It was a 4-point game.
Oh yeah, it was
Bremen
real
and
close.
It was 32-28 ball game.
Yeah,
Bremen is a good ball team.
And Bremen led pretty much the whole game, and Bowden fought their way back. And I don't think Bowden took the lead until late in the fourth quarter.
Bremen shut Pepperell out completely, and
Correct.
they only lost to Hurd by 2 points.
And played Darlington really well too.
Oh yeah, that was earlier too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a one possession game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they hung 33 points on Patrick Shelley. So I agree. I think Bremen's got a lot to offer, and I would say that this is the biggest chance for a number 4 to knock off a number 1. But I wouldn't make that bet.
I don't know. I think we might discuss that in the next.
Yeah, I talked to some of the parents of the Blue Devils, man. I guess the biggest question Friday night is who's starting at quarterback. You know, they had to start a freshman against Haralson County because Burks was hurt, or
Hey, I'm gonna tell you that freshman did a very good, respectable job, and he's a decent size individual. He's not chopped liver by any means. So,
I think Ethan Davis just commented, but Blake Matthews and Seth Reese, you're talking about two players who are basically just the same type of football players. What a fun matchup that's going to be Friday night.
And before we leave 2A, let me say something to the Dade folks. It's been 5 years since you've been in the playoffs, so I expect that stadium to be packed full and loud. And also, whenever you start selling the T-shirts, let me know.
Give Chris a monkey T-shirt.
I want a monkey T-shirt.
Third monkey.
I'm gonna be in Trenton Friday night, Chris. So if I find one, I'll get it for you, man.
Yeah. And I think Channel 12 is going to have a segment on Dade County this evening.
Yeah, they are, I believe.
Yeah.
So on the
they earned it.
84.4% pick the Fannin County Rebels.
And the spread is 9.
And anything above 10 is a high percentage for the underdog there. So I'd say 15%. Still leaning with Bremen is a fairly size. That's 1 out of 6. That's not a bad slice.
All righty, Mr. Davis.
Let's talk.
Yeah, this is the number
That's all
one
purple right there.
This is the number 1 team in the state.
Yes, sir.
And these two teams played just 2 years ago in the playoffs in the first round, and I know Monroe area is probably glad that there's no McConkey or Buckner or Flood this time around. They're the number 1 team in the state for a reason. They beat Oconee County 17-14 earlier in the season, and Oconee was they lost to Pierce in the state championship game last year. So they didn't just go 10-0 in a region that's kind of weak. All 4 of the playoff teams from 8 AAA, I think, are legit argument to be a top 10 team. And so North Murray and Adairsville and Ringgold and Rockport, they've got their work cut out for them taking on this region, especially in the first round. I think we probably drew the hardest region to play.
Oh, yeah.
Monroe area, they've got.
We were just talking about Fannin and Bremen. This region, the 1 and 4, is going to be, a flip of a coin.
Tough. Monroe area has got 2 1,000-yard rushers. One is the quarterback, so they run the ball really well, and the reason they run the ball well is they're really big up front, big and fast on both sides of the ball. So that's going to be the toughest test. Can you stop that Monroe area run game for North Murray?
He's also a 1,000-yard passer.
Yes. Strotter?
Salation Strotter Jr. That's his.
And Alan Jones is a running back from Monroe area, and he is also a 1,000-yard rusher, and he is an exceptional athlete. So North Murray's got their work cut out for them to stop that Monroe area run game, because it's no secret what they're going to do.
And with losing their number 1 receiver and watching what Adairsville did to him in the last game, I just feel like that kind of a little bit of the excitement that I was hoping for. A little bit of an aerial shootout. I think that's gone. I think that this is going to be just a real thrashing.
Chris is in the blue.
I'm in the blue.
Your Mountaineers are 32-point underdogs.
I'm still in the blue. Go Nears, baby. Go Nears.
Speaking of Adairsville and Oconee County, you said that was defeated by Monroe area.
So Oconee County is ranked second in the state, right behind Monroe area. So this is not easier. I think if you're going to see a 3 seed knock off a top ranked team, I think Adairsville. I mean, why not? I think you can match them up front. They're big up front, and I heard a lot of people say there's a lot of people out there that say Oconee County is a complete team. There is no weakness anywhere. So Adairsville, you've got your work cut out for them. This is a team that wants to get back to that state championship game.
Yeah.
So you're going to play them at home. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I did a little research, and Jacob Wright for Oconee County is close to 2,000 yards passing.
Yep.
Also, C.J. Jones, the running back's close to 1,000 yards, and they have others. And I do agree, though, offensively on the line of scrimmage, I think Adairsville can match up.
Yeah.
But they're going to need an out-of-this-world performance from both Eli Agnew and Chris Roper. They're going to need to score some points, and I just don't know if they can do it.
Chris, I'm like you too. I do like to see the teams up here win. I just don't see having watched Adairsville struggle against Sonoraville. Now they did rebound back and win that one in thrilling fashion, and they did put it all over North Murray. But I feel like North Murray is a little hobbled. And North Murray was never able to really thoroughly make the adjustment after their receiver went down. They never became the same team. They didn't look like the same team after that happened. And I feel like Adairsville caught them on a bad night. And I feel like Adairsville is going to be a part of another thrashing this weekend, but they're going to be on the losing end.
Yeah, North Murray, they've had a lot of injuries this year. But I think hopefully they'll be back near 100% when they head over to Monroe area on Friday.
Yeah,
and I was in the blue here too, so
I got
Tigers.
Yeah, I like the Tigers, man, but I think they're a young thing. I think 2022 is probably their year. I think it probably ends from Friday night, 28-point underdogs down in Watkinsville.
This is a perplexing matchup right here. What Hart County team shows up? There's been I've watched a couple games. They went down real quick to Monroe area. Then I think they come out and scored 20 points. If that team shows up, they could go in there and beat Ringgold. If the other team shows up,
they scored 20 points on a Coney.
On Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah. They scored 21 on Monroe. They lost 35-21 to Monroe and 35-13 to Oconee.
Yeah. So I would like to think that Ringgold's got the athletes that they can just outscore them if it got into a shootout. But Hart County is another one of those Region 8 teams. They're big up front and they can run the football. So
and they're a top 6 in the state.
Top they're ranked 6. Yeah. I had a Hart County kid send me a hub film last night. He's a sophomore back over there at Hart County, and the dude's special, man. It's going to be tough to stop him.
Yeah.
Again, I thought this was Ringgold's year. Ringgold was electric this year. They won the tough, close games that they had to win, and they looked like they were, fantastic. Then, I mean, they fell short in the big one with Rockmart. But to me, Ringgold has looked better this year than I've ever seen Ringgold look.
Hart is a 9-point favorite.
Yeah, they're going to have to play big Friday, even though they're at home. This is still a very good football team you got coming in there with Hart County. They always seem to be right there.
Lawrence, Ringgold is the underdog, even though they're the 2 seed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Hart's a 9-point favorite.
Not in our poll. They're the favorite.
You can tell we got the locals voting in this one, buddy.
Hey, that's fine. All righty. You got Stevens County on the road at Rockmart.
You can't help but talking about the quarterback situation. I know Davis was banged up a little bit last week, and hopefully he's back and ready to go. I think Rockmart can win this game. They're at home. It's a long trip for Stevens County, and travel, it weighs on you. So hopefully they get back healthy. I think they can outscore them if they had to. And I think that defense, those linebackers for Rockmart, this is a big time to shine right here because you're going to have to play big in this game. This is a 4 seed, but they're a very tough 4 seed. Look at the region they play in.
Yeah.
All top teams. They've played against the best in the state.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, that iron sharpens iron. So you're not getting a normal 4 seed. You are getting a very good football team. Do not take this team lightly. And I think the whole key to this is that linebacker play for Rockmart. It's go time, boys. I mean, so you don't want to be the 4 seed, lose to a 4 seed.
Stevens has lost their 3 games by a total of
I was
21
gonna say the same thing, Lawrence. They lost 34-24 to Monroe area.
Mhm.
They lost 9-7 to Hart, and they lost 16-7 to Oconee County. Saying this team is good, it doesn't even come close. This team very, very well could have been the number 2 seed in their region, and I feel like Rockmart to me has been played really inconsistent. In the first half against Sonoraville, I think it was 21-21. There's been games where they do not have the explosion they had the last 3 seasons, and I smell an upset right here. This is the one that I'm going to pull. I'm not pulling for Stevens County, but I'd have to put my money on Stevens County upsetting this one.
Check this out. Friday, after Lawrence got off the air, me and Chris looked up the Maxwell projections for the playoffs from last week. It had Rockmart going to the Final Four.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry too much about the projections. Rockmart, don't listen to them. Focus on Stevens County. Focus on that one right there.
The Cal Preps projections have Rockmart a 10.5-point favorite, and that's with Davis playing.
And here's the deal: Rockmart's coming back to AA next year. If they can shock some people and make a run at the state finals this year, that would be great because they're not just sliding back down; they're really a solid AA team. They don't have a bunch of out of district kids. They have all local kids right there, Northwest Georgia kids, and they're in an area right there with Cedartown where it's not like they get their pick of talent. Cedartown's over there, a big sucking talent up too. So these are homegrown kids at Rockmart getting it done themselves, and what they have done there is really impressive.
I picked Rockmart there. I picked all the 6 AAA teams. I'm cheering for y'all.
Yeah, I picked Rockmart too. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it like the Fan and Bremen game. I think it could be a really good game.
Yeah.
I do not pick Bremen to make the upset, but I do anticipate Rockmart limping out of there a little bit surprised.
4A.
And we can say now that 4A is a place that Ridgeland and Sonoraville and Pickens will not be a part of next year, right?
Yeah, I have that. I have that slide for later on in the event.
Yes.
This here's a matchup that surprised me when I was doing the Cal Prep, lines. Is that we're actually predicted to win 3 of the 4 of these games, which I was kind of surprised by that.
Because Northwest Whitfield has been, having a great season. Pickens has been having a great. I mean, a bunch of these teams in this region have had a great season.
This is, from what I've seen at Riverdale, this is not one of those games.
No, this is a 24-point underdog for the Lions.
This is not one of the 3.
Yeah,
not one of the 3.
Central has had a good season. I mean, they're in the playoffs, and honestly,
they're very
I
young.
expect them to be. I expected Pickens to be in this situation.
Yeah, some of their playmakers, their yardage leaders for Central are sophomores, or freshmen. So they're a very young football team. I think they'll be around for a while, and I think even if they lose this football game, I think being in the playoffs is going to be good for those younger guys.
Yeah, you could tell it was a team that matured as the games went on. The more reps they got, the better they got, and they started beating some folks. And somebody voted for Central. Was that you, Chris? No, I'm just kidding, man. You don't have to reveal that.
This is a pick'em game right here. This is a toss-up.
Toss-up.
Even spread.
Yeah, Heritage is the favorite in this game here, right?
Yeah, it's a pick'em according to Cal Preps.
Well,
I see Heritage. I see Heritage winning this one. Heritage has played some pretty improved football there. Inconsistent, but good.
How long of a drive is that for Heritage?
We were trying to look at the maps right before we went live. Benton and I were trying to look at how far some of these teams are having to drive. This one's a drive.
Yeah.
It's down in Clayton County. It's south of Atlanta, down by the racetrack.
Okay.
Luella. Luella has a quarterback that's a versatile guy. He's a runner and a passer. Vincent Berry is his name. He's close to 2,000 yards. My worry is what did Heritage do with the other passing teams in the region, like maybe
Northwest? They played them tough.
Played them tough.
Yes, I think that game went right down to the wire, like the last play, that Heritage and Northwest game.
I would say this one may be a possession game too. I think, like you said, it's a toss-up. I wouldn't give neither team big advantage, but for some reason, watching the tape on Luella, at Luella, I would pick Luella in this game, but I hope Heritage wins it. I want to see as many local schools as possible go.
They are 6-3 on the year. They lost to Cedartown, of course. They lost to Darlington 28-7 and Northwest 22-15.
I would have liked to see them play Cedartown a little better. They got blown out there and didn't even. I think it was 49-0 there. So the fact to me, Cedartown is a little bit more of a run-oriented team, but that physicality is what they're going to see against Luella, a team that can be physical up front and air the ball out. So that's why I worry. But I do think Heritage's defense can contain them.
And 2C Luella is favored 71.9% in this one. What's the spread you said?
Even. 0.
Even. Take your pick.
Northwest, a 9-point favorite in this one.
They're home
against Fayette County.
Owen Broker, I saw where he has over 3,000 yards total offense on the year. Ranks 10th in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about Northwest, and I mean the only thing, is their jerseys look like Florida.
They do look exactly like that.
Yeah, they do.
And I hope they beat Fayette County. I don't even know what Fayette County's mascot is. Does anybody know?
A gold helmet. I don't know.
The Bruins have put together a pretty good year here. Just looking, they lost to Cedartown 57-23.
They're the Tigers. Fayette County is the Tigers.
I got you.
They lost to North Murray by 1, and then that overtime loss to Coahulla.
Yeah, that was, like you said earlier, we thought it was a big win then for Coahulla. It's even bigger now. I mean, you're talking about the 2 seed
in 4A. Yeah. And I think Northwest carries on what they were doing. I thought Cedartown would roll through 7-4A and surrender hardly any points at all. And I said that if anybody scores points on them, it's going to be Northwest with that passing attack. And I like that passing game.
Nearly 30 points. How many points did they score?
20.
25. Yeah, something like 25 points.
Yeah. And I just think Owen Brooker's had a great year, and he's got Ray Morrison, Braden Morrison, and a sophomore named Hudson Gray. And I think that's a great receiving core he's got over there, and I think they get this one.
Yeah, I saw a little stat last night.
Yeah, and I think that they have some very mobile linebackers as well on defense.
Yeah. If Northwest pulls it off and makes it to the second round, it's the first time in school history they've gone to the second round back-to-back.
Yes. Wow. They hosted 2 playoff games last year, if I remember.
Yep.
Cedartown is at home against Hampton.
This game is a 50-point spread if anybody wants to put in cash down.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
50 points?
50 points.
And the bad thing is that they're going to cover it.
Yeah.
They might.
They'll cover it if they keep the starters in for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If they keep starters in, they may cover it.
Yeah,
I think they'll cover it in the first 3 quarters. I think they'll have their 50 in the first 3 quarters, and I think that the backups will be able to hold it. That's what I think.
I think if I was Cedartown, I would work on getting my starters out as early as possible once I secured the win and get ready for week 2.
And they could put 42 up in the first half. They could put 42 up in the first half against Hampton.
Hampton is 3-5. Their big win on the year was North Clayton, who's 1-9. They beat them 14-6.
Yeah, Hampton has not seen anything like they're about to see in Cedartown.
Is that 100% there?
That is 100.
Guess who I voted for?
Let me tell you, even the 4 Hampton parents who voted for Cedartown.
Hey guys, I'm going to hop off here. Cole's here. He just walked in the door. Going to spend some time with him. I appreciate you guys letting me jump on here. It's getting out of my area of expertise at this point anyway. So
tell that
Paul,
kid
man, we
we're all
appreciate it.
proud of him, Paul. Tell
Yes.
that kid we're all proud of him.
Hey, we're happy to see that
I
offer
definitely
come in
will.
the other day, Paul. So
awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you guys.
for
I
that.
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Right,
man.
We'll do it.
We'll
You guys
see
have
you.
a great rest of the show. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you, bud.
The Colonels on the road at St. Pius.
Hey, I like what the Colonels have done this year. To me, the Colonels took a big step forward this year. They're going to run into a wall against St. Pius, but I feel like I was impressed by how how Cass has played.
Yeah.
What's the spread on that one?
Cass is only a 16-point underdog.
I think they could make it a game. I don't know if they win or not, but I think Cass has done really well this year.
Make it a game, man.
Yes.
But, we were just saying that about Stevens over there, Stevens County. When you play in a region like this, you just have to – you're either going to wilt away a la Coosa, or you're going to have to rebound, to step up and get better.
BT, JC French is headed to Southwest DeKalb. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know what the spread is. We'll let Lawrence tell us, but I think Blessed Trinity
spread.
wins this game.
Yeah, they're a 10-point spread.
Yeah.
And Blessed Trinity's got the 10. I mean, they're giving up the 10. They're the favorite.
Yep.
Trying to look at Southwest DeKalb here, see what they did on the season.
Southwest DeKalb used to be one of those rugged city schools that could come out and just absolutely scorch you on the outside.
I mean, they got a
Blessed
guy that's thrown
Trinity,
for almost 1,000 and
we
rushed
talking-
650.
They have a win over Tucker this year. I don't know how good Tucker is. I know Tucker was a powerhouse back in the early part of the decade,
Mhm.
but
And so was Southwest. Southwest used to play. But Blessed Trinity, to me, the combination of being a big private school, I'm only like 800 kids. They're a AA size school in terms of student body, but they're basically all, there's no school district. They're all private school kids. So that bumps them up in the 5A group. And the last 2 years, the last 4 years, they have had absolute D1s all over the lineup, both sides of the ball. And they got them this year, but this year I feel like their heads had gotten a little too big for them, and they thought that the BT on the helmet was going to do all the work. And they the slugfest that they got into this year, they ended up on the losing side of. But I think that they're going to be too much for Southwest DeKalb.
Yeah, they have an outstanding running back, Justice Haynes,
Sophomore.
and the quarterback is being heavily recruited too. JC French, he's the transfer from Westland.
From Wesleyan, yeah. And French had a great thing going on at Wesleyan. He just didn't have the supporting cast around him, and he gets here to BT, and he's surrounded by some studs. But I do know that they have some locker room trouble there with those guys on that offense. So they're going to have to find a way to come together as a team if they want to make it past this round.
Yeah, JC has offers from Memphis, Akron, Liberty, UAB, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and he's got some big offers.
Yeah, I've got some friends who had kids on this program last year, and they're playing D1 college ball now. And they said as the leadership left last year, there was some friction in the locker room that needed some guidance. So here towards the end of the year, those kids really haven't found it. So they're going to have to find it. I think they'll beat Southwest DeKalb in either way. But if they want to make a run into the playoffs, they're going to have to find some way to get those kids to join hands.
And they mathematically have the best chance of going further than anybody in this, 5A or whatever.
They ended up with really good seeding.
County. Yeah, they missed Ware County. They missed Warner Robins.
Yeah, they're on the opposite side as Warner Robins. That was and Ware both. So how do you end up?
Most likely would say Woodward Academy in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think that they'll handle Woodward. I'm much more worried about Ware County.
Yeah.
And then your number one seed in the north, in the top of the bracket, is Villa Rica.
And we saw early on Villa Rica just hasn't looked like, a powerhouse. They're a good team, but not like what they used to be.
The future
I think Blessed Trinity can beat Villa Rica.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think anybody's beating Ware County.
No.
It looks like JC is, or at least according to Rivals, most interested in Memphis and Ole Miss. He's got offers from them. Big time.
Yeah, that Matt Corral out there is a junior now, or is he's younger than that? He's
Pretty
only
good player.
Yeah.
Somebody believes in Southwest DeKalb.
I got a feeling this next 2 versus 3 matchup is going to be a lot closer than people expect. I think some people in Calhoun might be surprised Friday night. I think Calhoun will
get some
win.
hate mail from Matt.
Well, I think Calhoun will win, but not by 25.
No. Decatur it can play ball.
25 is a little strong, but I think 14 or 17.
Decatur has beaten Wesleyan and GAC on the year. That's their big wins. And they lost to St. Pius and Southwest DeKalb, upset them last game of the season, which kept them out of the 2
If
seed.
I'm not mistaken, I think GAC might have a losing record this year.
Really?
Yes, they do.
I thought so. I thought I seen that they were 4-6.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I mean, you don't normally see that.
Yeah, there's several losing records in AAA, and like I've been saying all year, I hate that we don't have that at-large bid again, having the 9-team region, because we got 6 and 4 Sonoraville at home.
Yeah,
we're going to have a slight discussion about all that here in a little bit, and maybe you can give us some of your ideas of what you think. Maybe GHSA will be listening. We'll send them the link.
But
yeah, you got some teams with losing records in there in the mix, and you got some solid teams from deep regions that are sitting home.
I think all these voters remember 1,000 straight region wins or something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Calhoun does not think that they played their best ball against Cartersville. I
agree.
I've heard from a lot of those parents and a lot of those kids that they feel like they came out flat and they just couldn't get their footing. And that was not the way that they feel like if they played them again today, they would it'd be a different ball game. Of course, Cartersville wasn't perfect either. And Cartersville came out with, 21-7,
21-14. I think it was a touchdown game, wasn't it?
I mean, talking about the Calhoun, if Calhoun wins in the first round, which they got to get past their opponent, but they would match up with Ware County, and Warner Robins is going to be Cartersville's prize for winning in the first round.
Which is crazy to me, because Cartersville and Calhoun both are built to make a deep run, but because of the seeding, they're going to be one and done.
Yeah, could be.
They very well could be one and done, but I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them.
I think to move on to that third round, I think Cartersville could probably be your best bet. If somebody's going to lose in that second round between Warner Robins matchup or the Ware County matchup, I think Cartersville could be the one team that goes on to the third round.
So what about this particular matchup here? Anybody know anything on the phone?
Yeah. The Canes are 49.5-point favorites. Lithonia is 4-6. They lost to St. Pius 44-0, 47-0 to Southwest DeKalb. So
okay, so go ahead and show the 100%. Move on.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a 2-team region. They're just St. Pius and Southwest. That's all they got. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Decatur's decent.
So we're to the biggest of the classifications.
Yeah.
Douglas County at Riverwood.
This could be it's a tough matchups all the way across here, man. This is a battle.
I totally agree.
5-6A and 7-6A. I mean, I could see a sweep. I could see them splitting. I could see 3-1. I mean,
so it's the most evenly matched.
Yeah, most evenly matched across the board.
Yeah.
Avery Smith from Riverwood. I watched some highlights, watched some film on him. 2,600 plus passing and almost 1,000 rushing from the quarterback. Can Douglas County hold that back?
I don't even know where that school is, huh? Riverwood. Never heard of it. I'm not even going to say. It's got to be in that northeast Atlanta area somewhere, but
it is in Atlanta.
And obviously Douglas County was in the mixing pot of the most tumultuous region.
Douglas County is a 12-point underdog.
This gives you a hint
close.
here.
That's a narrow projection for a 1-4.
Yeah.
Riverwood is the 1 seed, and they lost 40-32 to their 4 seed, Johns Creek. And they beat one of the other seeds, Creekview, 35-28, and Cambridge 40-33. So this whole region looks like right there with each other.
Yeah. And from what we've seen of South Paulding, those guys are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When they're on, they look great, and when they're off, so I think that's the same way Cambridge is. So I think these will be some interesting matchups.
I agree. I think. I don't know. I don't know enough about Riverwood to pick them. I think I did pick Riverwood just because it's at Riverwood, wherever they play at.
Trying to look at South Paulding and Cambridge here. South Paulding, South Paulding's a 17-point underdog to Cambridge.
Which is crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
That one, I really don't. And go ahead, Rome fans, and call me a South Paulding lover, but I think South Paulding can win this game.
I do too. I cannot imagine how they'd be 17. I figured this would be like a 7-point spread, maybe, just because Cambridge is the 2 seed.
Cambridge is 8-1 on the season. They beat Creekview, Johns Creek, North Oconee. That's their big wins on the year. I mean, they're all pretty close games. They beat Creekview 7-0.
And that means they can win a dogfight. To me, that means they can win a dogfight. And I feel like South Paulding is going to give them just that. South Paulding has not forgotten that win over Rome, and they feel like anything's possible. They have already dealt with the thrill of that win, and they've come down off of it with a narrow escape out of Dalton, and they then took the butt whooping from Carrollton. So, they've already done the bouncing around. I feel like they're pretty even keeled out now, and they're going to hang in there.
So, just to jump back to Riverwood right quick, Riverwood is basically across the street from Holy Innocents. It's down 285, right down from Truist Park. So it's right down the road.
Oh yeah, here's something I saw this week on Twitter. I forgot about. South Cobb quarterback got hurt in the 4th quarter of that game Friday night. He's out for the playoffs.
Oh, that's not good.
South Paulding QB.
Yeah.
Oh,
let me adjust my prediction. Cambridge all the way.
Yeah, because that guy.
That changes everything.
According to my notes, Kason Wiseman is a 2,000+ yard.
Yeah, I saw him tweet a picture from the hospital bed. Man, he had his arm in a sling and his lip was all busted up. And
oh man,
Trojans, you're killing me.
Oh man. All righty, so everybody's going to favor Cambridge now.
Yeah.
This was probably before we knew that, but that's a fairly close selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually picked South Paulding in this one because I did not know that.
I did too.
Carrollton here is only a 10-point favorite at home.
Yeah, Creekview is pretty tough.
Creekview is good.
Yeah. I still like Carrollton. I've been talking for a year. This season, Carrollton and Rome, 2 teams I really like. They get hot. They get hot here. They could be right there at the end. They could be in that Final Four.
They could be in the championship game. I feel like Carrollton or Rome this year can be in the championship game. And as good as Creekview is, I agree with Chris. I feel like Carrollton and Rome are peaking at the right time.
Yes.
I think Creekview is good. They're going to throw the ball around. They're going to be multiple. But, Carrollton, I look at Carrollton, all their skilled players. You got MJ Morris, which is back for his second stint at Carrollton. Over 2,500 yards passing. I got Bryce Hicks down here with over 600 yards rushing. And then you got multiple guys that's got over 700 yards receiving. You got that much passing yards. You got to have some talent to throw to.
I like the Carrollton defensive front, especially their linebacker and defensive end plays.
Yeah.
They play aggressive. They play physical, and they will hit you in the mouth.
What did you say the point spread was here?
10.
Chris, that's exactly why I thought they would have played better against Rome, was because their defensive, they can shut down the outside so well. And feel like Coach Reed kind of exploited that in the middle and with the short pass game. But I think that the defensive front for Carrollton is at an elite level.
Yeah.
This next game is going to be a very interesting one Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
Very interesting.
Like we said, the one seed from this region lost to Johns Creek.
Yeah, I think Rome's faced two teams this year that throw the ball 4 times a game, and that was South Paulding and Paulding County. And they're going to face another one on Saturday.
And they struggled a little bit with both of those.
Yeah, the quarterback at Johns Creek's thrown for over 2,000 yards. He just picked up a Jack State offer.
Mm-hmm.
1,000-yard back in the backfield. It's going to be tough.
And if we go to this game, Lawrence, me and you get in free, right? And Benton's got to pay full price, I think.
Wait a minute. I'm about to get my I wrote some notes down here. Reese Fountain is the QB at Rome.
Yeah,
Reese
I
Fountain.
knew that, but I want to say he's at around 2,000, more than 2,000 yards passing. You got Bryson Hill in the backfield, over 1,000 yards rushing. Got Martell Hyatt and DeKalen Daniel, who has over 500 yards receiving. What?
Green
Martell Hyatt is going to be one of their D1 guys.
Green.
They've got
remember the name Green and Collins. Just remember those two names. I think they're big. I think they play big this Friday night. I really like those guys.
I think Rome gets it done. I haven't looked at a possible second-round matchup for any of these schools. Rome would look like they would play Evans. Don't know anything about Evans.
From Augusta area, yeah. Augusta suburb. Rome here is a 14-point favorite. I think this game will be close until the fourth quarter. I think if Rome wins by 14, it's all going to be done late.
Yeah, if Johns Creek doesn't score 2 touchdowns in the first half, they're not going to score 2 touchdowns.
No.
Yeah.
So who's the favorite in this 6A class?
Buford Wolves.
Oh yeah, it's all Buford.
And Buford looks like Lee County is the other 1 seed in that. That could be.
That's who everybody's thinking the championship is going to be, Buford and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Buford and Lee.
And Buford is.
Buford and Lee are play in the third round.
No.
Yeah,
there's your finals right there.
Yeah.
Who's the number 1 on the other side?
The number 1 on the other side would be. It says Region 1, Team 4. Okay, hold on. Region Alcovey.
I'll tell you the rankings here. I'll see if the Buford and Lee, Rome is your 3rd, Carrollton 4th, Cambridge is your 5th ranked team.
Kennesaw Mountain.
All right. What I was wondering was is Carrollton on the other side from Buford and Lee?
Yes, Carrollton will meet up with them, and
that's my point right there. That's why I think it could be Carrollton in the finals with Buford.
That'd be the Final Four, actually. They would meet not in the championship game, but in the Final Four.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep. I think that Carrollton makes it that deep.
All right. Reclassification.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Everybody get ready to mark your minute, Mark, so Lawrence can label this on the tape. What minute are we at?
108 and
108.24.
Yeah.
There you go.
GHSA reclass. You can look right here. There was a bunch of denies. This is just our area. Some of the big news, if you look down, Calhoun trying to weasel out of 5A, and they were denied.
Oh, geez. You're going to hear about that, Ben.
Pickens withdrew their attempt to go from 4A to 3A, and they withdrew because the number of people or teams that went from 3A to 4A brought them back down because they were at the bottom of 3A. So Pickens will be.
You might as well include Sonoraville in that discussion.
Yes,
Sonoraville's in
they
the
were
same
below
side.
Pickens.
Exactly.
And how this worked out is I'm wanting to say who was it that went right in front of them in the appeal? But they went. There was a school that went in front of them to appeal to go to 3A.
I don't remember.
They appealed to go to 3A, and they got approved. So everybody with the numbers less than them also got approved, and Pickens and Sonoraville fell in.
Automatically withdrew.
Yeah. So that's how that happened. Even though it says on the minutes, you'll read Pickens and Snorville withdrew their claim.
Yes.
They withdrew their claim because
They already
somebody
got
with
the-
higher numbers, somebody with higher enrollment numbers got approved, so they were automatically approved. That's why it looks
Pickens
that way.
was Pickens was way down near the bottom, but Sonoraville was literally second from the smallest potential 4A school. So once the numbers were there, they said they're guaranteed to stay in 3A anyway, just due to numbers. Yeah. And Ridgeland was one of those who was not close, but their appeal was approved.
So that's just a whole conundrum right there. There's a lot of AAA teams now. So we're going to have some. I guess Region 8 and Region 7 better be ready to be 8 and 9 team regions. I think 6 AAA. I don't like it, but I think we stay a 9 team region with Ridgeland definitely, because there's really no other region around that you can put Ridgeland into, unless I don't know. I don't even want to say anything like that. But the whole Pickens and Sonoraville, the reason they were approved, even though it says they were withdrawn, that's the way it was explained to me.
Pickens, I think, moves over that Gilmer, White County, Dawson County.
Region 7.
Yeah, 7.
Region 7.
Our friends in the mountains is what I call Region 7.
And Sonoraville will remain right where they are in 6 AAA. But I feel like Ridgeland and we'll have a time getting back to being a competitive program.
Yeah, they're going through a coaching change as well.
Yeah.
Bremen, like you said, might end up in that Atlanta region.
Yeah, I've been saying, Bremen could end up in that Region 5. They
with
are
Cedar Grove.
In a close vicinity with some of those other Region 5 schools, and so they are, like, if you take a look at them geographically as compared to where they are in relation to other 6 AAA schools, they're actually closer to a lot of other 5 AAA schools.
Yeah, I would say the average distance for most of the schools would be very similar, but the far distance is farther to Region 6 AAA than it would be to 5 AAA.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do with Region 8 and 4 over there, and the new region we have in the southwest of the states has kind of popped up. I'll have to go through and look at all the appeals and everything with that. But we've pretty much had 8 teams added in the southwest part of Georgia for AAA, and they really don't have a region number. If you look here, you got 2 down there, but there's nothing near Columbus all the way down to Valdosta to the Florida line. That's where those new teams are. I'll have to go look at all their appeal and denies.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they're going to end up having to completely restructure the regional alignment for AAA. And I feel like it's going to be a pretty big shift for Atlanta and below, and a minor shift for Atlanta and above Atlanta.
Well, I think they're going to condense some because Region 4 over there in Augusta, they were a 7-team region and they lost 4 of them. There's 3 teams out there by themselves. I think they'll have to be absorbed in the Region 8. Something like that. So I know they've got a mess on their hands with reclassification. So
I mean, just look at the team. I mean, it's just
it's a tough when you look at the map, man, because they're all spread out. 1 is down in southeast Georgia, 2 is that Peach County area right there in central Georgia.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we complain about having the 9-team region in 6 AAA. Just look at 2 AAA. Look at the distance. You go 2 hours for a rivalry game in your own region.
Yeah.
So that's pretty tough.
It's not bad when you're talking about football, just once a week, but when you're playing basketball, on Tuesdays and Fridays and Saturday. And
that's tough.
A lot of the other sports, baseball, basketball, softball, all those sports have some real problem with geography.
Yeah.
You think it's possible they put some of these out, like some of these schools down in 4A, like Oconee and Monroe area, and maybe move some of these 7A, like White County or North Hall over to 8A and around.
But from Athens to Augusta, you're still looking at a haul. That's a haul.
Yeah, Athens to Augusta. I mean, it's going to be really spread out. But you're going to have, like over in Augusta, you're going to have several teams over there with no other AAA teams around them. and you're not going to have a 3-team region. So you're going to have to go either to 5 or 8, or you're also going to have to, account for those other AAA teams in the South without a region that they're going to need a number. And there's only 8 available, so it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, you would be talking about this triangle right here.
Yeah, the triangle that from Columbus down to the Florida line, then over to Valdosta, and then back up to Columbus. That's where we saw those 8 teams. But I haven't looked at those 8 teams and to see if their appeals to stay in 2A or 4A were denied or not. So we'll have to look over that and see if they're still all 8 coming to AAA. I know Vidalia was denied to stay in 2A, so they'll be over there in that Savannah area. Though they will be in AAA next year.
I'm just going to make this suggestion, Lawrence.
All right.
I'm going to suggest that we come down and get a table in the back of this meeting room, and we commentate live on the processions that's going on during this region alignment meeting, because it's going to get heated. And the behind the closed doors jockeying that's going on right now until this meeting. And do we have a date set for the meeting yet?
No idea. We can treat it like game day and show up with signs and everything. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of people lobbying for what region they should be in and who shouldn't be in the region with them. So I think that the handshaking and deal making that's going on behind closed doors right now is going to be pretty extensive, and it's going to involve, all the logistics that comes with the geography of these teams. Obviously, right here with just AAA, you can see all the hassles that reclassification causes, and to think that these guys at GHSA have to deal with this every 2 years is painful.
Yeah.
Was it you, Chris, that told me that the state of Ohio, you just play any team you want, and then they rank the teams at the end?
Yeah, you can make your own conferences. You're not put into a region, but you are graded on a point system, weighing your wins, and that's how they seed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now that has largely to do with they don't have an organization like GHSA, which is not affiliated with the school system. I believe Ohio, and there's actually a couple other states that don't have a governing body, the governing body that they use is part of the state school board. The GHSA is completely separate, has no ties to the state school board, doesn't answer to the school board. It's all a private company. It's just a private company that controls high school sports, and that's how they generate their revenue. They make their money off of, that's another discussion too. But because of that, they're trying to do is maximize fairness and income, and the amount of money that can be earned off of it.
Yeah, and what GHSA is doing right now with the multipliers, I think, is to avoid situations where you had, like in Ohio, where like 90% of all championships were won by a private school, because they were playing private schools based on their enrollment. Even though they were recruited from a very large area, they were putting them in the same enrollment number schools. And so, public schools, I think there was some years with public schools, no public school made the playoffs. And that's, and during the 90s, I can't remember a public school winning a state championship. It just didn't happen. Those things weren't, we were one of 16 teams made the playoffs. I think we were the only public school that made it. It was like, who let these guys in, So,
and for that reason, it's obvious to me that the fact that they continue to jockey with the multiplier is in an effort to find where that fairness parity, where that fulcrum is going to be, because right now it wasn't 2. I like the sliding scale, which your multiplier got higher the farther over. 25% was 2, 50% was 3, 75% was 3.5. So if the larger percentage of your student body is out of district, the more that multiplier penalty hits you. And I think that they're going to end up having to go to some progressive scale like that, because hitting everybody with a 3, there's some schools that aren't competitive with a 3 because they have out of district students that aren't athletes. So
Yeah.
They're still jockeying with it because this is a good example of how chaos can reign.
So,
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're pulling this up. Can you scroll down to?
Yeah, just one second. I was just going to mention, if you look right here, Pace Academy, which was last year a 2A school, which had been reclassed as a private school, and has been passed the motion to move to 4A because of the multiplier. They're choosing to play in 4A. So literally, they've been in 3 different classifications in 2 years.
Wow.
Where you headed? Where was you going down to?
Just down to where our guys are.
Okay.
Hey, you saw Best Academy there. I don't know if we threw out yet that Best Academy is coming out of single A.
Yeah. It's just going to be
a 5
football.
I do not believe there's any additions.
Nope. It's just going to be a 5-team 6A next year for football.
Woodville Tompkins is moving from 2 to 3A. That's huge for your basketball folks. Basketball knows who Woodville Tompkins is, or you should. Let's see here. East Paulding's in our area. They're moving down, or actually probably staying in 6A. They were moved up by the multiplier. BT pass was denied, so they'll be in 6A. Cartersville, withdrawn. Lawrence was talking about earlier off air that they're going to stay in 6A.
No, they're going to 5A.
Going to 5A.
They'll stay in 5A.
Stay in 5.
Yeah.
We talked about Calhoun staying in 5. GAC tried to go down from 5 to 4, and that was denied.
And they're a AAA school right now, so they're moving up 2 classifications to 5.
And I'm surprised that they did not allow a school like that that's moving up 2 classifications to play down in the middle.
There's a biggie right there with Jefferson. Jefferson is highly ranked in multiple sports. Soccer, they've got a top team. Football, wrestling, and they're being bumped up to 5A now. They were denied the chance to stay at 4.
Here's a big one right here, and you can ask the Lafayette Ramblers about this one. Cross Creek Razorbacks, they appealed to go down from 4A to 3A, and it was passed. So that means that they'll stay in that region or in that division with Lafayette, and they'll have to play them in basketball.
They'll stay in the AAA. But I think Lafayette should be stronger this year in basketball. So
their athletes will shine a lot better there on the basketball court than they were because I don't feel like they have enough of them. But on the basketball court, those 3 athletes are going to be good, and they've got 3 studs.
And here we go with the Pickens, Sonoraville, and Ridgeland. And now I'm wanting to say West Hall was the school that went in front of Pickens and Sonoraville. And their ruling motion approved passed unanimously. I think that's what automatically approved Sonoraville and Pickens. That's the way it was explained to me. And so that's why it'll show appeal withdrawn.
Yep.
Oh, and I see Lovett was bumped from 2A all the way up to 4A, and they appealed that and were denied. So they're jumping from 2 to 4.
Yep.
They were in 3 2 years ago and somehow managed to come down to 2A.
How about the fact that they went there hoping to go from 4A to 2A in the meeting?
Yeah.
I mean, they should just said 3A,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try to go down to single A.
Bremen was denied, so Bremen's back into AAA. We knew that one.
Thomasville is another one of those AA basketball powerhouses, and they wanted to come down from 3A to 2A, and they were denied. So I'm not saying it's watering down 2A. There's going to be plenty of good teams in the basketball court, but that's taking some of your big guns out.
Now, West Hall, I think they're going to be probably Region 7. Another school down here below Bremen, that's East Jackson, they are from 8 AAA. They appealed to go down to 2A, and that appeal was approved, so they'll be a AA school next year.
You say East Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, they withdrew. They were in the same situation, I think.
That's Commerce School. That's over in Commerce.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, I'm coming up on 8:30 here. I got a hard out, so I'm going to bow out, guys. Thanks for the time.
All right.
Later,
We'll
man.
see you, Levi.
And Social Circle will be moving out of Single A, so this could be the last game in Single A for Social Circle against Trine if they're not victorious. Oh, here you go. The committee set the date for lateral appeals within classifications for 10 a.m. on Thursday, November 18th at the GHSA office. So, is there a date set? Do you either one of y'all know if there's a date set for region alignments?
That's what I'm saying. I guess between now and the 18th, they'll put them in a region because then they'll have the lateral appeals where you can appeal to go from 5 to 4 or whatever.
So
I guess,
sometime in the near future, we should see that may
Sometime
have to warrant a show in
A whole
and of
show.
itself. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with the amount of AAA schools now. I don't know where they're going to go with this, but I know they're going to have to move. I think there's going to be big moves, and I think they're going to be surprising some people. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I think it's going to be wild. I agree.
Yeah, with AAA, I think there's going to be big moves. So,
Well, all right, guys, you pretty excited about Friday night? You get your cars packed, ready to go?
yeah.
What? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Ben,
Try
that
not
guy,
to-
that guy texted me this morning, man. He told me to tell you to let the Chattooga fans know to get there early because they're going to have to park at the middle school and they're going to have a tram or a bus to take kids to the high school.
Yeah, I heard
They
something
expect the
about
parking
that.
lot to be packed,
Yeah.
It's going to be
'Cause
crazy
this-
environment, man.
Yeah. And yeah, this is this could be their first playoff win, Benton. So they might pull the goalpost down while you're there.
You're going to have a hard time sleeping Friday night after hearing all them cowbells, man.
No.
There's a lot of cowbells at Harrelson.
Yeah.
So good luck, all 6 3A schools, 6 AAA. Go out there and get them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up there at Magic Morgan Stadium this Friday night, man, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see a outstanding game.
I'm hoping to not let Harrelson cover.
No, yeah.
I think that I mean, there's a chance if we can block a little bit that we might move the ball some, but I don't know, man. It depends on who shows up.
It has been my observation this year that the level of 6 AAA has increased. It's been much better, and I think we saw the numbers year over year. The wins losses of out of region play was just huge this year as compared to last year. We're going to find out if that theory was right this Friday. So we're going to stack 4 teams up against 4 of the best in the state, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah. We talked about it before, man. With 6 AAA, they seem to get screwed first round of the playoffs every year. I mean,
Yeah, because 7 AAA was tough last year. It was their best year, and that's who we got. And now we got 8 AAA. So just go out and play.
I'm still a
Is
big fan of the ranking system, man. I wish we would come up with a ranking system like Florida has. Rank them from 1 to 32 and get the best
Yeah.
teams in the championship.
I think it'd be in their best interest to check out other systems, do some
You're
research.
talking about, are you saying like once you get to the final 32 teams, then you re-rank?
Well, no, whoever wins the region is an automatic team in the playoffs. So you got your 8 automatic qualifiers, and then you vote for the other 24.
I got you.
That put the other 24 in.
Who does the voting?
A bunch of old dudes. They have a computer system,
We would do it. We would do it
Yeah.
here, there, Benton. It'd be us.
Speaking of Speaking of the voting and the computer system, has anybody seen the latest release of the college football playoff?
Yep. You
Yeah.
know how it's going to end up, right?
Let me
It's
hear
going to be
it.
Georgia. It's going to be Georgia, Alabama winner. Oregon, Ohio State, Oklahoma. That's going to be your four. I don't see any other way around it. You know.
Go Dogs.
No, I don't. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I think.
Oh, I will say if Bama beats Georgia in the SEC championship, they both will make it. You'll have Georgia and Alabama.
I
Yeah.
think if Bama wins out and loses a close one to Georgia, I think there's a way a 2-loss Bama makes it over some of these other teams, even maybe a Cincinnati.
Even over an undefeated Cincinnati, you would have riots in the streets.
That's what I was about to say. I think people would riot it. I think if Bama loses 2 games this year and they make the playoffs, people will go crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially Big Ten country. They'll burn
Okay,
that
so
place down.
who of those other teams, regardless if Bama lost to Georgia or not, is going to beat Bama?
None. 0.
None.
Yeah. But
So are we taking the 4 best teams,
no,
or are we taking
we're
the
trying
4
to make.
most deserving, or what is our criteria?
They're trying to take the 4 teams that make them the most money.
Yeah, they need the ratings, so
Yeah.
they're going to look for the biggest markets.
Yeah. You're going to get a team from the West Coast. You're always going to get a team from the West Coast: California, Oregon, Washington.
That's going to get blown out.
blown out. You're going to get Ohio State, Michigan.
There's
Penn
a
State.
chance that Ohio State, they have to go to Michigan, right? I believe they do at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they get Michigan State at home.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have tests left. I don't know. I just don't think Ohio State's played like they had in the past.
They got to play Purdue Saturday, I think.
Now, if they could pick the 4 teams they wanted, it would be Ohio State, Texas, UCLA,
I don't know about
and somebody from the SEC.
Yeah.
That's all your money makers.
Did you see my post earlier on Twitter that had the BCS formula of currently versus the college football playoff?
Mm-mm. Who would be your BCS teams?
Right now, your BCS would be Georgia at 1, Alabama 2, Cincinnati 3, Oklahoma 4, followed by Ohio State at 5, Notre Dame at 6, and then Michigan and Michigan State at 7, 8. Oregon at 9, undefeated at 9.
I will say right now, as an Alabama fan, that I don't see anybody beating Georgia this year if they continue to play like they are.
Yeah. I think the defense is too tough.
I think this game Saturday is going to be a lot closer than people expect, though.
I think if they're going to give up some points, I think Tennessee is going to be able to do it, and I think they're going to come out and they're going to do it and do it early. I don't think Tennessee wins the game, but I think they're going to come out. I fully expect some trick plays on the first series, first quarter, something like that. Expect the unexpected because that's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, I think the last spread I saw was about 22.5. I think the Vols will keep it within 22.5.
I think it'll get away from them later. I think they might, if they're going to score points, they're going to come out and do it early. But after that, it's going to be over.
I think when if they get behind and the Vols are a hurry up team, right? Don't they try to hurry?
Mm-hmm.
That can really put you behind if you don't convert. It's important that they convert.
They scored 58 points on Kentucky last week with 17 minutes of possession.
Wow. They can move the ball.
Well, they also I heard that they're a big stat. The number 1 team in the NCAA scoring from 70+ yards out, I think. So they got a bunch of big plays. My only question is, are they going to be able to block up the D line to get 40 yards downfield?
No. You're going to have to attack the edge. And you're going to have to do it very quickly.
I don't know. I think like a 45-17 or 13 or something like that. I think that's what's in store.
Yeah.
How many games Georgia have left? Just 2? The Vols and Tech? Is that it?
No, they have Charleston Southern.
Charleston Southern at home. It's one of those, we'll give you $1 million games.
Probably $2 million.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
does Stone Cold say? $3 million. But
That's got to be the big news from this past week too in this area is Jack State moving up to the FBS.
Yeah, from FCS to FBS. That's big.
and the coach resigned, correct?
Well, yeah, he got fired. I think that this is my opinion. I have no facts to back this up, but they're getting ready to get hit with some recruiting violations, and that was going to come out before they knew they were going to FBS. So it makes it look like they're being proactive by asking him to step down. You know, I mean, because the guy was 76-16 there.
Yeah, that's
It
a pretty
wasn't
good
like
record.
it wasn't like he was getting smoked or anything.
Yeah.
And he played there. He's been coaching there for forever. And he didn't seem too upset about it when he resigned.
No, it's like he's seen it in the cards.
Yeah, they probably cut him a check. Said, "Hey man, we got to do this. We're getting ready to move to FBS. This is gonna look good. That we took a step to correct the problems here." I mean, because Jack State's been recruiting suspect people for years.
I did see. I want to bring this up. I did see where the former Coosa tight end scored his first 2 touchdowns
Yeah.
last week in the Jack State game. Sean Brown.
John Brown.
Yeah.
He's been one of my favorite players I've covered over the last 4 years. Man, he had no offers at all going into his senior year. He went to one of those Rusty Manziel MVP camps and showed out. And he ended up signing with the Vols, but he left them after last year.
Yeah, I think Cavan, Cole Cavan. I think he actually committed to North Alabama.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he committed to North Alabama, and
Today or
yeah,
yesterday.
I seen where Rob Brown had some offers from. I think Shorter was one of his offers.
Yep.
Shorter,
That'd
Kentucky
be
Christian,
good.
Thomas More.
Thomas More.
I'm pretty interested to see what Cole does, man. Once he gets to college, they put him on that college weight room and diet plan, man. Because
He's a very large individual. He's a big kid.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know what Atwater thinks of him. Throw him the ball. That's what Atwater.
Throw him the ball.
I have a feeling though when he gets to college, he's going to move down on the line. I don't see him putting him at tight end. They'll probably put some weight on him, and he'll end up being a tackle or something.
He's 6'6". It's a big guy.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. He's got a big frame.
They'll probably add 30, 40 pounds on him that first year.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do, I'm sure they will. Excuse me, they will. I was looking for something. I think I seen where your guy from Chattooga, the defensive end, I think he got a few more offers coming in.
Yeah, I saw where he needs 10 tackles Friday night to go over the 100 tackle mark for the season.
Huh.
Think he'll get it? I mean, he should. I mean, Clay will run the ball up the middle 15 times,
Yeah, my only concern is it being past him before somebody tackles him.
Yeah.
'Cause he's on the D line.
How fun is it going to be to see Burdick and Hyatt meet out there about 20 yards downfield?
That's going to be the unstoppable force versus the immovable object there. I would say that Burdick's probably going to be giving up 75 pounds, with the way it sounds to me.
I talked to a kid this week, man. He's about 6'6", 260, a future FBS kid. Played against Harrelson. Said they're the best defensive line he played against all year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. Have you seen that kid that plays at Manchester High School in Georgia?
Mm.
He's a lineman. I'm pretty sure it's Manchester. He was an 8th grader last year. He's a freshman this year. He's 6'5". I mean, his name is Justice Terry. 6'5", 260 as an 8th grader, and this dude he's a man.
He must have been the one that stopped Clay Hyatt when they beat him.
Might be. Let me see. I'm trying to pull him up.
This guy says Clay Hyatt runs the ball like a truck.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. And at Cedar Grove, they had a preseason scrimmage with Cedar Grove. Cedar Grove had all kinds of problems with Clay Hyatt.
Score was 14-14 at the half before they, put in the second string in the second half.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, I think they go a few rounds deep, don't you?
Yeah, they got a
Harrelson.
tough one next. They have a tough game next Friday night against Northeast Macon, which is the number 8 team in the state.
And if I think I know those teams to be super athletic.
Yeah, super athletic.
So I mean, that could be power versus skill there.
Yeah, the early spread has Harrelson a 2.5 point favorite, which is toss up.
Yeah, 2.5. I think we only had maybe 2 toss ups
Yeah,
the whole night, and that's
my
me.
that's be my biggest problem with the GHSA playoffs, the first round. I mean, it's all blowouts. I mean, you're probably going to have 95% of your favorites win Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's a warm up before the real playoffs start. I mean, you get teams coming in here 2-8, 3-7.
And Sonoraville 6-4 at home.
Yep.
I hate
Lafayette.
that.
I mean, Lafayette.
Yeah,
probably
Lafayette.
beat some of the teams at the bottom end.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Coahulla Creek.
Yeah. 4-6.
Holy moly!
And Coahulla Creek, I mean, I think they got a pretty good junior class. So, who knows what happens next year?
Well, you'll be down there where they're going to put out a hurricane statement in Monroe area, right?
Yep.
You're
About
going to
10
Magic Morgan,
minute drive.
and I'll be in Rebel territory. And
We'll be all over.
honestly, I think that's only about an hour and 15 minutes for me.
What,
Yeah,
Monroe area?
It's not bad. It's not a bad drive.
No, Harrison County.
Oh, that's not bad for you. Not bad at all.
It's about a 45-minute drive for me. So you're what, about 30 minutes up the road?
Something like that. I'm not in the Monroe area. I'm in the Menlo area. Menlo.
Yeah. I've got a bad old rush hour North Atlanta traffic.
Oh,
So, yeah, that's not going to be fun. I'm going to leave early.
I get to go over the mountain.
Hey, any Harrelson people on here still? What's the best place to get something to eat? Grab a bite to eat before I get in there. I'd like to hit up a hometown joint if you got it. That's the best place always.
The best place I've eaten in Harrelson is called the Farm.
The Farm.
Yeah, it's about 2 miles from the stadium. When you pull up, man, you think you're in a ghost town. It's like an old barn. Look like it's about to fall in. It's got like wild cats and stuff walking around outside.
Wild cats. Huh?
Yeah.
That's what makes it good.
It's good, man. I'm sure they cook those cats up. Probably the best steak I've had. T-bone baked potato.
Then they got steak and everything there.
Yeah.
I see the Pizza Farm.
Yeah, Pizza Farm. It's called the Pizza Farm, but it's not really pizza.
It's 4.4 stars.
Yep, there it is. That's the Pizza Farm. That's what the man says here.
So if they run out of parking, which there's not much parking at the high school, so if you run out of parking there, then you have to get shuttled from down the road at the middle school. Huh?
Yeah. And the key, if you go to the Pizza Farm, get there early, man, because they don't get in any hurry cooking the food. They're taking their time.
So I'm probably not going to the Pizza Farm, huh?
No, you can go. You don't have that far of a drive.
Yeah, I don't know what time I'll get out of here. And I mean, if I go by myself, I'll probably get down there early, early. But I don't know who all's going.
Yeah, all right, guys. Well, it's getting late for me. I got to get off here.
All right, man. See you, Chris.
All right. Go Nears. Go Dogs.
Sure.
Go 6 AAA.
Go, yeah.
Go everybody, Northwest Georgia.